Hey y'all, so usually I announce new tarot or new oracle cards on my Instagram, but I thought I would announce it on YouTube today instead before I do Instagram. And the reason why is because I'm going to go ahead and pull all of us signs, especially with this Venus retrograde going in, an extra reading, kind of give us a little bit of advice at the beginning of this, right? And of course, all of our circumstances, all of our situations, and all of our lives are going to be different. So it may not necessarily apply in the most like 100% like, oh my God, hit me to the core way. So don't look for that here. But what you want to do is see this with an open mind, open heart, and get the best advice for you at the moment, right? Because that's all we can do is just get the best advice. So that said, I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the Oracle, Messenger Oracle, and Whispers of Love. Obviously, we got to get a little bit of love in here because this is Venus here. Okay, all right. And you know what? I'll throw in the romance angels in here too. Why not? Why not? Right, family? Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle first. This bonus reading is going to help all of us out. You know, because we're going to be going through the same energy, just experiencing it in different ways. That doesn't mean we can't get advice together. You know what I mean? Clean it up. All right. So for some of us out here, for all of us, you know, the advice for saying for all signs right now is that it's, you know, clean it up, which is talking about, you know, just, picking stuff up, whatever's been lingering in the past, kind of not being resolved. This is the time now to really kind of go over things, dust things off, cleanse the area, cleaning your space, cleaning everything, and not necessarily like spiritually in the sense of your home per se, but more of relationships, saying, it's time to spruce it up, really clean it up, dust it off, see what you got going on, because obviously retrogrades are about review in the first place. Now we're going to go ahead and pull the Wisdom of the Whispers of Love, rather. But yeah, so it's like, clean it up. I got that. I got you. Any loose ends will be dealt with this retrograde. Whew. Anything that really truly feels unresolved. It's gonna be, it's about cleaning it up. It's about, sprucing it up, seeing what you got. Getting rid of it, keeping it, putting it away, what are you doing? Like whatever it is for you guys. Oh shoot, we got two. Speak the language of love. And then we got, does this say physical touch is important? Oh snap. Now this is scary to me because with Venus going retrograde, okay, let's talk about really connecting with people in a very physical manner. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, connecting in a very physical way, but you have speak the language of love. There's a lot of flirting. There's a lot of reconnecting as far as communication goes with people. Let's see, I'm going to show you guys here. Speak the language of love is the first card that fell out. The first card I saw. And it says, loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. And this is like being compassionate to people, being compassionate to yourself, most importantly. And I feel like here with the speaking the language of love, especially, I feel like it's talking about, you may be interacting with a lot of people. Obviously, retrogrades about looking back, reflecting, it's introspection, things like that regarding love, period. Love, money, beauty, pleasure, relationships. Venus rules quite a bit. And I feel like this is talking about, whoever you reenact with or whoever you get in contact with, this is talking about coming from a place of compassion. It's because right now, everything's like, we're in Libra season. It's about what you see about the other person that may reflect back, that may resonate with you. You may find that you are triggered by talking to somebody, even though they may be a romantic interest. But it's about looking at these issues, looking at the not issues, because the stuff that we may go through, they're just stuff that we go through, the karmic stuff, not our fault. And I hate saying issues, to be honest. I'm going to try and figure out another way of saying stuff like that, because it's like it's something like that we all go through, the struggles we all go through as being humans with our karmic stuff or past. But I feel like whatever you guys are going through, you approach it with as much compassion as you possibly can. because I feel like there's a lot that we're going to be covering. That's going to be coming up. Because why am I saying that? Venus is going retrograde, not in an air sign. Even though this is air season, is during Libra season for us. Venus is in Scorpio. That's why we need the most compassion here. That's why we need to, come from our heart, because come from a place of great understanding. Because where we are at, Venus is going through the deepest, darkest fears within relationships, the darkest parts of us regarding money and situations like situations of the like that are very Venusian. So we're speaking the language of love. Yeah, it's about being honest, one thing to ourselves as well, and being very compassionate to ourselves. Because there's some things that may not be easy to face, easy to go through, and we have to be compassionate mostly to ourselves. Because it's like, think about it, if it's something, our sister, our mother, our brother, our father, whatever, right? They're going through something, we don't want to be all, get over it, right? So just be careful not to do that to yourself, and be careful not to do that to others. And I feel like speaking the language of love is really talking about just connecting emotionally. And I feel like with physical touch is important, which is the crazy part. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone. Yeah, everybody's going to be feeling vulnerable, especially us ladies. We're going to get hit hard. This is divine feminine energy. The men already had their spiel in August, from late June to late August. They had their stuff. And now we're going to get from beginning of October to mid-November. Oh, goodness. But physical touch is talk about, hugs, being there physically. If some of you guys, if you guys have long distance relationships, I know you're going to be like, well, I can't really go see this person. I don't have the money, or whatever, right? It's not about the practical, And I feel like the situation is like, speaking the language of love. Love is not physical. Love is a feeling. It's something we feel for others. And I feel like the thing is like the physical portion of it. It is important to some extent. If it is important to you, it has to you have to figure that out. You have to figure out why, because love is not present. All right, it's not in your face, and it doesn't have to be. For some of you guys, especially on this relationship, it's like this could be like, yeah, physical touch is important. It may even, if there's been some situations where there had, there's some cleanup needed, or some things to be repatched up, and I swear to gosh, it may be having to do with the second you touch the person, the second that you see them or interact with them, something clicks, something sparks, something is something undeniable. You know what I mean? And I feel like don't have too much emphasis on the physical touch. And I know the physical touch is important. For some of this, but the message is saying if you can, if you want, it's okay to connect with someone physically. And honestly, just be in the moment at all times. What we're going to be seeing here is how much the physical or the material affects our life. It's important to look at the moment, but approach with compassion. I feel like with the two coming up there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull your messenger of the oracle cards. Ooh, all right then. You can come on back in here. Thank you. What we got for the Venus retrograde? Oh, my Virgo's watching. Straighten that out for y'all. I know I got other stuff, but I don't really want to explain what it is. What was that? Oh, snap. So you guys have know your fears. Oh, see what I'm saying? I'm so serious right now. This is Venus retrograde is freaking me out, but at the same time, it's like, whew, we know this is what we're going into. We know it. And that's what exactly what we're saying. It's going to cover up a lot of the darkness. It's going to cover up a lot of the stuff that we may not be so comfortable talking about. For instance, the Me Too movement, everybody coming out about their abuses and everything like that. That's the dark side. It's the dark side of Scorpio. But the dark side of Scorpio is what's going to pull us through to the light. It's facing it head on and embracing it's knowing what our fears are. And this is knowing what our fears are regarding vulnerability. That's why I'm saying with speaking the language of love, it's so important. You know what I mean? Seeking comfort is very important right now, but understanding comfort within yourself is important just as much as it is with, you know, externally. But knowing your fears, guys, that's the thing. Cleaning up, knowing your fears, these two together, and along with all this combo here, is definitely telling me that, yeah, regarding our situation with Venus going retrograde, cleaning it up is cleaning up the things that are keeping us from being able to manifest a relationship and completely embracing all of ourselves. This Venus retrograde is going to be embracing our feminine energy. We already did the masculine already, and a lot of us, you know, I know the men got hit hard, but also what ladies did too regarding that Mars retrograde, because obviously we have masculine energy in us too, and it's going to affect men too. There's a vulnerability aspect about them too, you know. So it's all, you know, everybody's going to get affected, all right? I'm just going to put it out there. It's like, yes, there's certain sexes that may be affected the most, but because of this, the high amounts of feminine energy, the balance in a way, but we all have feminine energy. And this here is about the vulnerability because of Scorpio. There could be more, though, to this. Not just vulnerability, not just feeling, you know, vulnerable, but this is about facing the fears that we've got going on Venusian-wise, right? Like I said, you know, relationships, pleasure, you know, just, you know, happy, you know, having fun, enjoyment and things like that. And it also has to do with money. That's what I was saying, the physical touch is important. Yeah, this is going to be talking about money as well, but because obviously what's physical is money, and that's very practical to have this come up. But, you know, it's very interesting. But all these fears that we may have, this is giving us an opportunity to know them, so that way we can finally give compassion to them and put them to rest. Amen to this. Like, whew. Amen. And last but not least, family, I'm gonna pull a Romance Angels, because hey, it's fun to pull one of these. Get a little extra drama in here. Whoa. Get to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Yes. And I told you this is having to do with relationships too. So whoever you connect with, whoever you connected with during this time of your, you know, this retrograde, the more you get to know them, the more you get to know yourself. It's very weird. You know, Venus we're in Libra season, but we're going through a Venus and Scorpio retrograde. So it's getting to the core of who we are. All of our relationships are going to reflect our vulnerabilities, our fears, our triggers, but to help us be the best versions of ourselves. Because Scorpio is the best, you know, strives to get to the core situation, the core essence of something, you know, to the very absolute bottom. So that way so you can cleanse, so you can start a new world, a new life. You know, to get there, you got to know what's going on. And the best way to do that, yeah, it has to do with relationships. Getting, you know, being, you know, not necessarily using people, but people are going to be around you, are going to reflect things back at you that show you your fears, so you know them, so you can face them and clean them. But you clean them with compassion and physical, you know, physical touch, important hugs, love, you know, affection, being affectionate towards yourself, being affectionate towards others, and even being physical. If having sex is something that, you know, don't be afraid to have sex right now. If a lot of you guys are having intimacy situations regarding being open with love, right? This is going to be hashed out too. For a lot of us, it's not just the communication of compassions that's going to be looked at, but it's also our physical aspects of being physically involved with someone, being, you know, intimate with someone again, or being intimate with someone at all. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's important, yes, because it's weird how that sort of thing can keep us from feeling as though we're not connecting with our true selves on all of ourselves. If we connect with this, if we, you know, accept our sexuality as well, accepting what happened to us sexually, if this is something regarding fears and abuse and things like that, or you know, if this is not an abuse and something that happened in a relationship that made us feel like we can't be intimate with somebody again, facing that fear and allowing ourselves to accept, you know, to accept ourselves for who we are, and, you know, forgive ourselves and forgive the situation for all the things that we've gone through, that I feel like is what's going to help us pull through this Venus retrograde with, you know, with bigger and better things, and welcoming Jupiter into Sagittarius, so we can actually have a party with everything that we've learned, everything that we've grown from. All right, family, my lovely fire, earth, water, and air tribe, I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna be fighting through this Venus retrograde. We're gonna be facing our fears, and we're gonna be conquering it. And I know it's scary. I know it. And I'm scared too, okay, if that makes you any consolation, but that doesn't mean that we can't face our fears. That doesn't mean that we can't do what we need to do to be awesome. Men and women out there, whoever, you know what I mean, non-binary, you know, trans, everybody. This is our time. Every moment is our time. But let's take advantage of this moment together and not do this by ourselves. We don't have to. Especially as Venus, we're in Libra season, definitely don't have to do this by ourselves. But that's not the point. This is about ourselves. It's never about anyone else, it's about ourselves. So just remember that, guys. But love you guys. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.